everybody. Today I'm reading Big Nate Blast Off. Well, I'm not really reading it, but it's a wonder book. So, I hate this thing.
Welcome to Wonderbook. You gully washer to come along. Chapter 1. You know what's awesome? Social studies. Let's go, guys. We don't want to keep Mrs. Godfrey waiting. Yep, you heard me. Social studies is officially the highlight of my day. I like it better than English and science and math. I even like it better than art, which is really saying something, since I happen to be Nate Wright, artistic genius. You're probably thinking, wait a minute. Hasn't social studies always been a king-size sit on the forehead of life? Answer, duh. So, how come it suddenly jumped to the top of my hot list? Well, it's not because I magically morphed into a butt-kissing toady like Gina. Even though you didn't tell us to, I read chapter 6 and answered all the review questions. Here, have some homemade fudge. I haven't become a factoid freak like Francis either. Did you know that during his presidency, Franklin Pierce was arrested for running over a woman with his horse? Wow! Nobody's listening, man. And it's not like the teaching's gotten any better. Who cares if I said there wouldn't be a test today? I changed my mind! So, what's different? Simple answer. The seating chart. Since dinosaurs roamed the earth, Gina sat behind me in social studies. I can't prove this, but I'm pretty sure it's Mrs. Godfrey's secret plan for keeping tabs on yours truly. Agent G4 to Mama Bear. Subject is drawing in his textbook. Over. Good work, G4. Over and out. It's also given me a nervous twitch, thanks to Gina's psychotic auto-response every time Mrs. Godfrey asks a question. Ooh! But I digress. The point is, Gina's a pain in my backside. So when old Dragon Breath decided it was time to shake up the seating arrangements last week, I was totally into it. It couldn't get any worse, right? Way right. She moved Gina to the smelliest spot in the room. Welcome to Death Valley, Needle Nose. She's stuck between Mark Cheswick, who farts all the time, and Seth Q-Tip Quincy with his nasty pits. Arrgh! And me? I get to sit in front of Ruby Dinsmore. I don't know her very well yet, but she seems really nice. She's cute, too. And, best of all, she doesn't go around sucking up to teachers and sticking a report card in your face like Princess Know-It-All. Gina out, Ruby in. Talk about an upgrade. That's why social studies rocks lately. Hi, Nate. Hi, Ruby. Hey, did you finish the homework? I got stuck on number 10. Yeah, I did too, I say, flipping open my notebook. Let me find it and it's gotta be here somewhere. I'm a little disorganized. What's that? This? Oh, just a comic book I made. I tell her. Really? Can I read it? Ruby asks. I hesitate. It's not... I mean, I haven't quite finished it yet, so that's okay. I don't mind that it isn't done. But it is done. I was just trying to avoid showing it to her because, well, I'll tell you in a minute. Alternate Super 6th Grader, starring in Power Outage! What's wrong with me? Why am I so weak? One day at PS38, in Mrs. Godzilla's classroom. Eureka! I found a way to destroy my arch-nemesis, Alternate! But I'll need help to put my evil plan into action. Flunky, come here! You bellowed, my beloved mentor?
Yes, here's what I want you to do. Psst, 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 psst.
Mrs. Godzilla, you're a genius.
Later, in the art studio.
Oh, Nate, you're so talented.
Just doing what I do best. Help! Uh-oh. Sounds like someone's in trouble in the hallway. This is a job for Ultra Nate! Rip! Flunky, where's the emergency?
Right here. Bzzzt.
Huh. What happened?
I feel weak as a kitten. You are. Thanks to Mrs. Godzilla's invention, the Transferizer. It took away your ultra powers. And now, when I press this button, click, it transfers your powers to her.
Yes! Look at me. I'm ultra strong, ultra coordinated. I can even fly. I'm taking over this school, and no one can stop me. And so, all the students were captured and put in chains. I've chased off all the good teachers. Now I can run things my way.
Can't you do something, Ultranate?
Maybe I can. If Mrs. Godzilla now has my powers, she might also have my weaknesses.
But what weaknesses do you have?
Just one. Egg salad. I must reach that container in the lunch line. With his arms chained behind his back, Ultranate carefully balances the egg salad on his head and launches himself at Mrs. Godzilla. Take that, you fiend! Splot. Oh, no! Get it off me! I'll take that transferizer, flunky. Kick. Then turn myself back into Ultranate. Zap! Leave this school forever, Mrs. Godzilla, and take your sidekick with you. Her reign of terror is over.
Ultranate, you're wonderful.
End. Ruby giggles as she hands back my comic book.
I like it.
She whispers.
And I think I recognize some of these characters.
Okay. But which characters? See, that's why I sort of didn't want her to read it. She's the one kissing me in the last panel. It's not supposed to be realistic or anything. It's just a comic. But I wouldn't want her to think, that I'm sitting around waiting for her to put a lip lock on me, because I'm not. I could have drawn anybody in that last panel. The fact that I drew her is totally, what's the word? Ah! Mrs. Godfrey looms over me, nostrils flaring. How does she do it? The woman's the size of a woolly mammoth on an all-lard diet, but I never hear her coming. She just appears. What have you got there? She demands, peering suspiciously at my comic book. Quick observation, this isn't going to end well. Nothing, I stammer, trying to stuff it back into my binder. Just a project for another class. A class, you say? I wasn't aware the school offered a class in insulting people. Insulting? Excuse me, I just wrote a 6-page masterpiece starring her. You'd think she'd be flattered, but no. She's reaching for her little pink pad. Attention, here I come. Go ahead and stare, everybody. I know you want to. Francis. Not again. Gina. Serves him right. Dee Dee. This is so dramatic. Teddy. Dude. Artur. Jenny. You are my fuzzy mushroom. Jenny. Aw, love. Randy. What a loser. Chad. Was that my stomach? With one beefy hand, Mrs. Godfrey slams a detention slip down on my desk. Take this to Mrs. Sir Wiki after school, she growls. Great.
be so much fun hanging out with Mrs. Serwicki again. I haven't seen her since... when was it? Oh yeah, yesterday. I managed to make it through the rest of my classes without any major disasters. There's a close call in art involving a tube of sky blue paint, a swivel chair, and Mr. Rose's pants. Plus, science is a nightmare, because my partner for the lab report is Kim Cressley. When you're done with that, I'm ready to cuddle. But finally, the bell rings. School's over. For most people. I've still got an hour to go, thanks to Mrs. Godfrey's total lack of a sense of humor. I trudge into the detention room, praying that Mrs. Serwicki's not in one of her complaining moods. The other day, she yacked for 45 minutes about her varicose veins, whatever those are. And then, hey, what are you doing here?